Hi,
Hi.
we're back.
We're back like we never left
We never
because we
left.
didn't leave.
We
We just weren't here.
yeah.
Yeah, think about that. Yeah.
But we're here with another episode. There's
Yes.
something that looks different about you.
About me?
Yeah, it's about you. You look like you're giving new name.
New name.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a new name. So we are officially the VIP suite, formerly known as Jesus Please Holla Back. Yes. So VIP, real quick, I'm gonna talk about this more in depth in another podcast episode. But VIP stands for value, identity, and purpose. Yes. Simmer in it. That's where we're going. Yes, that's what we're chasing. Yes.
I like that.
I know. I mean, it took me a little bit to let go of the Jesus Please Holla Back. I feel like we'll always kind of be Jesus Please Holla Back, but I really feel like the name change was very intentional. I feel like God was saying we're going from praying and begging and pleading to literally walking in our authority.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. So we are officially the VIP suite. We are on Instagram at the VIP suite, okay? And all the other things that are to come will be at the VIP suite, okay? By the time hopefully this episode drops, but we're working on some things. But yes, officially new name.
Name. I like it. I like it a lot.
Thank you.
I like it a lot.
What's going on, Gussie's Corner?
Gussie's Corner, still Gussie's Corner.
Okay, the corner is cornering.
It is cornering. And it is time for a new episode. I'm just like, when you got in my car yesterday and you were like, God is working on me. I was like,
Girl.
say no more, because he's working on me too. Whatever we got to discuss is going to be
Let's talk
an
about
episode. It has to be an episode because it's been a while.
Let's talk.
And I feel like
about it.
whatever you had to share and whatever I want to share with you is going to be worth recording. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, let's talk about
let's
it.
talk about
So, should I go first? Because
it. You could definitely go first.
okay, y'all. First of all, it's been an interesting 48 hours. Yeah, this is real time. This just happened. It's been a very interesting 48 hours, and the experience was like, wow, it blessed me. I know it doesn't. I'm gonna tell y'all what happened.
Yeah, I'm
like,
going to
how
need
did that bless
details. You
you?
can't just start with it blessed me and we're just waiting to hear what happened.
So let me set the scene. We're jumping right in this thing.
Yes, okay.
Cousin's vacation in Cabo, San Lucas, Mexico. Okay.
Okay.
We wanted to do the things. Okay. So the girlies and I, me and my cousins, we went to Cabo, San Lucas, Mexico for a little girls trip. We're celebrating my cousin's birthday. It was a
Nice.
milestone birthday. So we're like, we gotta do it up.
Okay. Sounds like you did.
We did.
Okay.
The trip was great. We had a really, really good time until we weren't having a good time.
What happened?
First of all, oh my gosh, so many things happened in such a short period of time. It made me stop and be like, what? So first, we were out, we're out on the town. We had rented a car. So first of all, we're out, we're painting the town. And we were hungry. Okay, it was late. We had been saying we wanted to try. Well, I didn't, because I really don't care for it. But my cousin were like, "Oh, we want to try McDonald's in Mexico, whatever."
McDonald's in Mexico, out of all the things.
That's what I said.
Out of all the things I already eat in Mexico.
That's what I said.
But go ahead.
So basically, we find a McDonald's, we turn into it. But again, y'all, we're in Mexico. Okay, we're not from there. There's a lot of Spanish words we don't know because we don't speak the language fluently. I mean, I could do a little Espanol, okay? I make it work. I put my two words together and I make it work.
Okay.
But some of the words, some of the signs, So anyways, we bust a UE, we end up on a one-way street. But there are no cars coming. We're on the wrong, basically it was a one-way. We were headed in the opposite direction. Cool. We didn't see the sign that said it was one way. McDonald's was closed anyway, so we get back in the car and we're pulling out and we're turning the corner. And the federales tried to get us.
What?
We got pulled over in Mexico, y'all. Like, whoop, whoop.
That sounds like a movie. That sounds like a movie.
I could not believe my eyes. And my cousin was so it was the four of us all together, and me and my cousin were like the drivers for the trip because we were there when we were renting the car. You know how that goes, adding a driver. She happened to be driving. So she went to turn, and the federale, I'm sure that's not what they call it, the police, put the light on, and she's like, is he coming after me? I think he's coming after me. And I'm like, well, why would he be coming after you? So he pulls us over right around the corner from the McDonald's that's closed that we didn't even get to get. And so now he comes to the window, and I'm thinking to myself, surely we didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
Surely if we did turn on red, I'm thinking like all the things, if we did do something, you know, whatever, he's gonna let us go. He's gonna see we're not from here, we're clearly on vacation, and let it be that. Can you believe the cop took my cousin's license and said, I either got to take your license or the license plate of the car until you pay this fine. Y'all, if y'all ever go to Mexico, if you've ever been, then you understand the word fracción. Fracción, fracción. That's all he kept on saying. And I was like, oh Lord, what's a fracción? And basically, I guess it's like what's it called? Like a violation. Yeah, like a charge or something. So he's like, fracción, fracción, da, 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 da. So I'm pulling up the Google Translate to be like, sir, pero we didn't see the sign. It was just a mess, y'all. So we sat there for a minute. So earlier in the trip, my cousin jokingly said she has 2 friends on speed dial that speak Spanish, that they're Spanish speaking, and those are her lifelines should anything happen. Well, in that moment, we needed that lifeline, okay? So she calls her friend. She gets her friend on the phone. Now, mind you, we're in Mexico. We're Baja, California. So it's a 3-hour difference from New York. So at this point, it's probably like 2 a.m. in New York. Thankfully, her friend picks up. And the whole time I'm in the front seat, cool. Like, surely nothing crazy is going to go down. So her friend gets on the phone. She gets her friend on the phone. She explains to the friend what happened. So the friend is now speaking Spanish to the officer, explaining to him, this is the deal. We didn't see the sign. It's dark. We're not from here. We're on vacation. We wouldn't do this on purpose. Let us go, sir. Let us go. So, and I could pick, like I said, I put my little Espanol together, okay? So I'm picking up a few words and I'm like, okay, all right. He's saying that the sign says it's a one-way. And so that's why I was just like, well, I'm looking for how to say we didn't see a sign. So basically, he goes back and forth with the friend. He goes back to his car. Even when I can understand that the friend is explaining things right in the right way, the officer would not let up, y'all. He was not letting up.
He wanted that money.
And that's what my cousins were saying.
Yeah.
So then my cousin in the back, who she don't know a lick of Spanish, she's telling the guy, Feliz cumpleaños, Feliz cumpleaños. Right? That was her way of saying we're celebrating someone's birthday. Like, we're celebrating my cousin's birthday. We're out here celebrating. We're not from here. Obviously, he sees the driver's license is a New York driver's license, but he's not having it. He is not having it. He's like, y'all gotta give me your license or a license plate. The license plate for the car. It was a rental car. It was just a hot mess. So basically,
how did this thing end?
Finally, the friend, I forget what we said to the friend. We're like, yo, tell him it's late. We were coming from a different direction. We didn't see the sign, whatever. And I'm trying to be calm. Like, I'm smiling at him, like, you know. And then the other thing is, she was explaining what we were explaining to him in English. Again, with our few Spanish words put together. Finally, he was like, oh, okay. I'm like, sir, you understood. You knew the first time we told you. But okay, that's fine. Because I don't want the federales to come get me. We don't want to spend the night in jail in Mexico. So finally he said,
Can you
okay.
imagine?
Bruh. At that point, I was imagining. I really was imagining like this really could end really wrong.
I love how the thunder just.
Yeah. Yeah. How about that one? So basically, he ended up letting us go. And when I tell you, I was so relieved, but I was just like, surely, why was this even like, sir, like you knew? So that was the first
So God came in, swooped up, and
swooped in. And that's the other thing too. In a regular, maybe a few years ago, maybe even a year ago, I don't know, because God is working on me, okay? I think I would have been more like I kind of would have gotten a little gangster with it, like,
more
sir, we
reactive.
told, you know what I mean? Like, yes, very much more reactive. But in that moment, I just said a little prayer in my heart, like, God, I command your authority over this moment. I don't know what is going on. You know, it was literally an accident. It was very much like an innocent mistake. So I prayed in my heart and I said, let me keep calm in this moment because me raising up is not gonna do anything good. And he's working on me, y'all. He really is. So that was the first step. Okay. Now we're still enjoying our time. We're still enjoying our time. We're going on this beautiful boat ride for my cousin's birthday. We're turning up, all the things. Shall we get back to the B&B, which is beautiful, by the way. We get back to the B&B, and by like 6 a.m., everybody, and I do mean everybody, it was the four of us, everyone has explosive diarrhea.
that's a way to end your vacation. It could have been worse. It could have been in the beginning. But still, nobody wants explosive diarrhea.
You're absolutely right.
What did you guys eat? What
We
happened?
we still have not been able to pinpoint what I was
It
thinking.
wasn't a McDonald's because you're gonna
No, it
never,
wasn't
you never made
McDonald's.
it.
We never actually. Well, we ended up eating it like after the fact, but I didn't even eat McDonald's. So it wasn't the McDonald's because it had to be something that we all had, right? Child, we still couldn't figure it out. I thought it was the water. I thought maybe it was the food from the boat because it was a boat ride with like food and drinks. I didn't know. Everybody going through it. Now, thankfully, everyone had their own bathroom though. When I tell you,
So everybody had one.
everyone had their own
Everybody was going out
bathroom.
at the same time.
Yes, and this might be TMI, y'all. And if you're, if you got a sensitive stomach, fast forward. But it was crazy. It was so crazy. I feel bad. Am I putting out their business? Well, y'all don't know who I went on vacation with.
No.
I was there.
Check her Instagram. I think she posted pictures though.
Don't say that. Don't say that. But yeah, it was so now everybody's stomach is rumbling and all you hear is flush, silence and flush because it's early in the morning. Everybody's flushing. And I didn't even know it wasn't just me because like I said, everybody had their own room, their own bathroom. So my one cousin hits the chat like, bruh. She was like, yo, this is what's happening. And I'm like, yo, me too. My other cousin hops in, yo, you too? So I said, all right, something's wrong. So, okay, cool. We spent the rest of the day, like, laid out. Oh, no, one of my cousins was leaving early. She left the trip a day early, but it was planned that way. She was going to leave the day before. So now everybody's stomach is on 10. We got to drive 40 minutes to drop her off at the airport and 40 minutes back. It was a nightmare. I'm not going to hold you. It was a little bit of a nightmare. But thank God we made it. Okay, we made it back. And the rest of the day after we dropped her off at the airport, we were in bed. Like lights off. The lights were dim. Like nobody went outside. We didn't go by the pool. Everybody was either laying on the couch so that we could be in each other's company, but still laying down, or like in their bed. It was, oh man, it was a bonding experience, I guess. But oh man,
That is not how we want to bond.
that was tough. That was tough to just and then to know like think about this, right? You're on vacation and you have one full day that we've put so much plans towards. We're like, oh, if we don't get to do that, we'll do that on this day. We'll do that. We could always do that tomorrow. We could always do that tomorrow. Tomorrow comes and nobody can move, nobody can function. So the whole day is shot. We're in bed. We're not eating, obviously, because our stomach is on 10. We're not drinking because we don't know if it's the water. We don't know what it is. So it was a time. We had a time.
Mm-hmm. So,
We
you
had a
know, of
time.
course, I'm thinking like, okay, what was God trying to protect you from out there? That He had everybody
That part.
staying in.
That part. When I tell you, and this is part of the reason I told you in the car, like God is working on me. Because before I would have been so frustrated. I would have been so upset that we came all this way and we have a whole day wasted now because everybody's sick. We can't go nowhere. All the plans that we had to go do all these things and go to this place and go visit this place and sightsee and drive around and do this, none of it. And I had that moment. That's why discernment is so important, y'all. But I had that moment like, I think God really wants us to just sit down.
Yeah.
I think He wants us to just sit down today. And then honestly, I wasn't mad after a while, when my stomach settled, obviously. I wasn't that mad because I really felt like with everything that has gone on in my life the past few months, I would say there was a lot of emotional buildup in my body and I wasn't resting. Like I was sleeping at night because I'm going to get some sleep. But I feel like there was a rest that was needed. And so I felt like in that moment, God was like, now you have nothing to do but rest. That's all you can do. And so I rested. I even got on the Bible app because I said, clearly, this is demonic.
We want a little time with you.
I said, clearly, this stomach ache is demonic, Lord. Get it out, okay? So I rested, I slept, I rested, I got up. I just chilled out. And I'm like, well, actually, that's what most people go to do on vacation. And we were not doing that. So I felt like that was very needed. So yes, I said, okay, God, I see what you did there. See
Seems
what
like
you
it's
did
had
there.
to turn down.
Yeah.
Y'all were turned up.
Exactly.
Way too high.
Turn it up. Like, turn down for what? So that's pretty much how we spent our last, day and a half of the trip. And whew. So fast forward, time to go to the airport. Now there's 3 of us left, right? My one cousin left the day before. Now there's 3 of us left. And her flight was a little earlier. So the plan was we were going to drop her off at the airport and we would have a little bit of time to go to a store and get souvenirs. Which is what happened. We dropped her off at the airport. She made her flight. Cool. We're putting in the GPS. All right. Now I'm doing all the math, right? I'm trying to calculate how long it's going to take us to get to the store and then get back to the rental place so that the shuttle could drop us off at the airport so that we still make it on time for the flights. Okay, cool. We have more than enough time. Okay. I even put in an extra 10 minutes at the store. I calculated 15. I said a little 10, extra 10 will be fine. So we get to the store, we pick up our little tchotchkes, and I love me some Mexican vanilla extract. Okay. So I picked up some vanilla extract. Remember the vanilla extract, right?
Okay, I see you're repeating that. You want me to? Okay, noted.
Remember the vanilla extract.
Noted.
So we leave out the store. Now I'm putting the GPS, the route to the rental place, which was right outside the airport. So now we're headed to the airport. We're 20 minutes away with like an hour to kill, right? So we're driving. And then there's like this traffic. So I'm like, okay, cool. Traffic. Okay, 15 minutes of traffic.
Not
Okay.
when you have a flight to catch.
But I'm still fine. I'm still cool. Like when I tell you the peace of I'm telling you, he's working on me.
Okay, that's where I was start
Working
freaking out.
hard because this would not. It's almost like I didn't recognize myself in the moment because I'm like, girl, who are you? There's such a peace over me now. My cousin. Now we're down to 2. Now it's just 2 of us left. 2 of us has already got on the plane and left. So it's 2 of us left, right? 2 men standing, and we're on the way. Now we're in this traffic. And I'm watching the GPS, like it never moved. Now, mind you, it said we're 15 minutes away from the rental place, which is like a minute away from the airport. 15 minutes away. I'm like, I still got time. I'm not checking a bag. So it's fine. So now my cousin starts to like low key start to panic, but I'm like, girl, it's gonna be fine. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Now we're both flying to the same place. I had a connecting, but that was her final stop, right? So I'm like, well, if anything, you can get on my flight because my flight is empty. So I'm still hoping, okay? Like, do you know we sat in that 15 minutes away? We sat 15 minutes away for 3 hours.
And you were at peace.
Not the whole time. Not the whole time.
Yeah.
Let me tell you
I'm
what
like,
happened. Because let me tell you what happened. The closer it got, so my let's say my original flight was supposed to start boarding at 11 o'clock, right? By the time when we first hit traffic, it was still like not even almost 10 o'clock yet. So I was chilling. When it started to get to 10:30, that's all I was like, oh, this traffic's not moving. So finally what happened was now we're getting closer to my boarding time. And now my cousin's like, sis, when you say your flight is boarding, I was like, sis, I don't want to talk about it right now. Don't get me started. So something tell me, check my app. I think I had my phone on do not disturb, so I didn't get any alerts. So I go to check the app. No, before I check the app, I'm already praying in my mind. Again, the inner prayer, okay? The inner prayer, I'm like, God, in the name of Jesus. Now I'm doing the internal prayer warrior mode, right? I go into prayer warrior mode because I'm not getting stuck in Mexico. I don't care. I'm not getting left behind. So now I'm praying in my heart and I'm just like, okay, Lord, I know you could do anything. I command your favor. I don't care if something got a malfunction in the plane so that it gives me time to get there. I'm going to get on that plane. And this is how I'm going off, right? So I'm like, God, just give me peace in this moment because if I start to panic in this traffic, it's not going to do anyone any good.
No.
So I'm like, God, I know you're going to have this flight delayed. There needs to be a delay. There needs to be something so I make this flight.
You see, this is where I would start thinking, all right, how long is it going to take for me to walk? Like, I didn't bring anything I just had my carry-on. Let's just...
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that because we definitely noticed some people with suitcases and carry-ons hopping out of their car to walk across for, to wherever to, I guess, to go catch another mode of transportation. So we're watching all of this. When I tell you we're watching all of this in silence because I know my cousin is freaking out, but I have to I'm driving. I have to I'm like, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine, sis. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. It's gonna be fine. But I'm like, do I really believe that for real? I don't know. So finally I go check my phone. I realize I have a bunch of, notifications. My phone was on do not disturb. I went to go look. My flight is delayed.
Oh.
The flight is delayed.
Wow.
Won't he do it?
Now, granted, I had a connecting flight, which I very rarely do. Honestly, I can't remember the last time I had a layover. It was a couple of years ago. But now the time that I'm landing, which was great. I'm like, I'm not missing the flight out of Mexico. I don't care what happens. But now the time that it's landing in Texas, I literally would have had 10 minutes to get from that flight to my connecting flight to New York. And I was like, I don't know how it's going to work out, but I know you're going to make a way. You're going to make a way, right? So still sitting in traffic. This whole thing is going on, this inner monologue, because I don't want to freak my cousin out, right? Finally, I get another alert that the connecting flight is now delayed. The flight in Texas from Texas to go to New York, which I don't think had anything to do with what was going on in Mexico, that one was delayed now. So I was just like, okay, I can relax. Okay.
Won't he command his angels?
So I still didn't have time to process because we still trying to get to the airport.
Yeah.
So now it starts to move. So I'm like, okay, we're moving. And when I tell you, so going back to changing the name of the podcast, I struggle with it a little bit because I love the name, right? But when God revealed the whole walking in your authority, and it's like a new season, you know what I'm saying? In that moment, I was like, yo, walk in your authority, B. You better speak that thing. And so I start murmuring. I start murmuring this traffic is going to move. we're going to move. We're gonna move. We're gonna make it to the car rental place. We're like, this traffic is going to free up in the name of Jesus. Like I'm like speaking like, like softly. And so a little while later, the traffic frees up. Now, what happened when we got to what was going on? What happened was it was pouring rain, and because of, I guess, how the roads are designed over there, it was super muddy, and it was like a little lake that happened in the middle of the road, and it was a busy intersection. So everybody's car couldn't handle going through it. That's why there was such a holdup.
Yeah.
When I tell you I pushed that rental car and it started to stall a little bit, but I'm like, nope, let's go. And it went slow. It went slow. Finally, it got over the hump, and then we were on dry land, and we kept it pushing. When I tell you the sense of relief I got, I need to take a moment. I gotta process that, y'all. The sense of relief I got in that moment, I was like, oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you. So, okay, cool. There's more. Yeah, there's more to the story.
I'm listening.
There's more to the story because it got a little crazy after that too. So now we get to the car rental place. Skirt. Drop off the car, hop on the shuttle, and now we kind of pressuring the shuttle driver, like, sir, we gotta go. So he gets us to the airport. He takes out our bags, whatever. We're walking into the airport, y'all. Walking into the airport. Now, mind you, it had been raining. Things are wet. We're walking into the airport, and I go flying.
See, I wouldn't even make it on my flight because I'd just stay down. I would not get up. I would not get up.
Trust me, I wanted to. I went flying and landed right on my tush, okay?
I pretend like I'm hurt. I'm injured. I cannot get up.
Thank God. I got some cushion back there. But when I tell you I busted my tail.
For me, it would be the embarrassment of falling. I cannot fall in public. I feel, I can't fall in public.
I said the same thing.
Ambulance is going to happen. I can't. The embarrassment will just paralyze me. I won't be able to get up.
I said the same. I mean, thankfully, it wasn't too many people outside of the airport. But I wasn't even thinking about embarrassment. I was thinking, I got to get on that flight. Like, we just sat in 3 hours of traffic. We're cutting it very close. We're cutting it very close. I need to get on that plane, and then I can ouch and ooh and ah, right? So I get up on the floor. My cousin's trying to pull me on. I'm like, wait. So now I get up, and I'm like, now the side, like my whole butt part is wet, and it was terrible. So now I'm like lugging my luggage up. I get up. So at that particular airport, there's like a little gate. You got to scan your boarding pass. The gate opens up for you, and boarding pass wasn't scanning.
Oh my goodness!
The gate was not open. And I'm looking at the time. Now, granted, yes, the flight had been delayed, but now we're still cutting it close. Remember, we just sat in 3 hours of traffic. So now the old me wanted to emerge. And see, that's why, even as a new creation, okay, we have to be so careful when that old thing wants to come out of you. Because when I felt that Hulk spirit rising in me, when that guy kept on telling me, now granted, he was just doing his job, okay? He kept on telling me to scan the boarding pass. I don't print out a paper boarding pass because I'm like, I don't want to carry that around. So it's always on my phone. It's always ready to go. I got, the phone screen on the brightest so that it always, scans. So it would not scan. And so now I'm over here like, ¿Qué pasó? Like he's talking to his colleagues, and they're figuring it out. But I felt like in that moment he didn't have my same sense of urgency, which was an issue for me. That was like,
can we speed it up just a little bit?
That was a big issue for me.
Just a little bit.
Very lax, very like, you know what I'm saying? I could tell he gets girls. It was one of those, like, he gets girls. I know that has nothing to do with the story, but He just had a
that
swag.
has nothing to do with the story. Okay, go ahead. 'Cause I want to know what it was about him, but
He just had a swag
leave
about
that.
him. He had a swag, like he had a smirk, like you know what I'm saying. He was cute, but in that moment, I didn't care about all that.
you just trying to get on your
I'm
flight.
just trying to get on my flight. And so now the pressure is on, and he just seemed like, all right, like he told me, hold on in Spanish. I couldn't tell you what the word hold on is in Spanish, but in the moment, I understood it, right? And so he goes to ask somebody, he comes back, he's like, okay, hand me the phone again. He's swiping, nothing's happening. Still, no sense of urgency. And I'm showing him. I'm like,
The time.
look at the time. I need to go. So finally, I think he started to see the Hulk spirit inside of me rising up. Cause I'm like, bruh, I just sat in 3 hours of traffic. I just busted my tail in front of this airport.
That has nothing to do with him.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. But all of this is still sitting with me, and I'm just like, you have the nerve to be lax about the fact that my boarding pass is not like I need to go. So finally, I said, "¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó?" Like, I'm doing this. I'm I'm trying to do, give him the signal like hurry up. Finally, with his suave, you know what I'm saying, with his swag, he goes on the other side. He gives me a smirk. When I tell you, I was so angry in that moment. He goes on the other side and he opens the gate for me and lets me through. All of that. I said, okay, anyways. So I move forward. I go now, I'm putting my luggage, my carry-on luggage and my personal item, walking it through the thing or whatever. So now they flag my bag.
Oh no.
Remember the vanilla extract?
How did you not miss that flight?
I'm still trying to figure out how I didn't miss the flight, but I guess I needed to come back. I needed to come back to record this podcast and tell y'all about this situation. So they flagged my bag, and now I'm like, oh my God. So now the vanilla extract.
Not the vanilla extract you went to get in the first place.
Exactly. The vanilla extract. The same reason why we even ended up being in traffic 3 hours, because if it was not for the vanilla extract, we would have just stayed at the airport chilling. So they took the vanilla extract for me because it was 4 ounces instead of 3. And it was 2. I had 2 little ones. And I'm not thinking, because again, we ran to the store and I'm like, yo, we gotta go. So we're grabbing a few little souvenirs and we're like, yo, let's go. So I wasn't thinking, oh, let me read it. To me, it looks small enough. I'm just like, even if it's a 3.5, who's gonna care? Because it's small enough. I do think though, here, just a little travel tip. If I would have had time to pack it better, like maybe like, you know what I'm saying, with the other liquids that I had, I think it would have been fine, but whatever. So they took my vanilla extract from me. It's still in Mexico where I purchased it.
Maybe had you made friends with Suave over there, he would have mailed it back to you.
You know what?
You had an opportunity. You had lots of time.
I guess I did. But my clothes being wet from the fall that happened like 5 minutes prior, it wouldn't let me think that far ahead. So, anywho, after that, I made it through security. I said, it's fine. Take the vanilla. Take it. So I'm rushing. I'm limping almost because my booty still hurt from the fall. But I just got to make it to the gate now. Mind you, now the notifications are ping, 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 ping on the phone because they keep changing the gate.
Oh.
So thankfully, the 2 gates that they kept on ping pong in between were right next to each other. So I don't even know why they were doing that. So again, this whole thing is going on. My cousin has a totally different flight to catch. And hers was leaving like maybe 30 minutes before mine. So we had hugged. When he was already giving me issues to swipe the boarding pass, I was like, just go. Save yourself. I'm like, just go at this point. So thankfully, she ended up making her flight as well. And then we got on the bus, and then the bus, drives you to the plane. And so I get on the flight, and when I tell you, When I tell you, I always pray before takeoff. Again, commanding whatever was scheduled to happen. We're
Yeah,
rebuking it because I
canceling
don't
it.
play those games. As much as I love to travel, and I really do believe that it's a luxury, it never ceases to amaze me how a big old plane is just be in the air.
Suspended in there.
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
Yeah.
And so I always pray before takeoff or whatever. So now the plane is literally ascending, and the tears started to fall.
You've been through a lot.
Woo! Oh gosh, that moment. Let me tell you why that blessed me. Because I'm thinking of everything that led up to that moment and me getting on that plane. And I felt like the plane taking off represented so much in my life. Woo! This wasn't planned.
Yeah. You're gonna have to get up and get your tissue.
Yo, the ascension, bro. Like, if y'all can
I have to
imagine,
use this napkin.
thank you. If y'all can imagine the ascension, like first, like the plane has to like drive really, really, really fast down the runway to prepare to accelerate and ascend. And I felt like in that moment in the ascent, I didn't even know. I promise everything that had happened right before, I promise I did not see that coming. But in that moment, in every moment before that, God still continued to speak to me. Like, as hard as this journey has been, you're going to make it.
Yes, you are. There's no doubt about that. You are going to make it.
Oh Lord.
Absolutely.
Ooh, these thug tears are thugging. Oh my Lord. But y'all, I think I'm a little more emotional because I feel like someone else needs to hear that. Oh man. Ooh.
So like there was a lot that was trying to keep you in Mexico. Like a lot trying to keep you in Mexico, from getting sick to,
Yo.
getting stuck in traffic,
Yes.
your boarding pass not working. That was a lot.
The fall. Don't forget the fall.
Yeah, don't forget the fall.
Don't
Because
forget
that would have been it for me. I would have been like, you know what?
Yo.
Just leave me. I'm gonna stay here.
Don't forget the fall. And I feel like everything leading up to that, because before that, it was great. It was an amazing time. And I think that it really just reminded me of those seasons in life where everything that could go wrong goes wrong. And you know how people be like, oh, if everything is going crazy in your life, that means you're at the edge of a breakthrough.
Yeah.
Well, I believe that. I believe that so hard, but I've never experienced the pressure like that. And I feel like, oh man, it was so beautiful. Because as the plane is accelerating, I just imagine that's the pressure that we feel sometimes when we're trying to break away. We're trying to, get our deliverance, get our breakthrough, get to the other side, break away from certain things that have been tying us down, right? It was that pressure. It had to accelerate like, "Arr!" And then the plane starts to shake a little bit because you're going from like, what's it called? Taxiing, right? To having to get off the ground. And so there's so much pressure built up to prepare us for the speed, to prepare us for the takeoff.
Yeah.
Come on, somebody. That thing blessed me. As upset as I could have been in every one of those moments. Now, they almost got me at the gate. They did. They almost got me when the boarding pass thing wasn't going through. But as upset as I believe that I could have been throughout the whole experience, I felt like, yo, that was God's peace that was keeping me. And basically, the moral of the story is, it does get hard. It does get hard. The journey can be a roller coaster. It is going to be frustrating at times. You're going to want to give up, okay?
Yeah.
But I feel like God doesn't guarantee that it's going to be easy, but he's like, if you stick with me, I got you.
Yeah.
And so I stuck with him and I made it home. But yes, it's very parallel. Everything that happened, I'm talking about is parallel to what's actually happening in my life, and going out on my own and starting, a new business, which we'll talk about in another podcast. But yeah, I feel like even in that, God has shown me like, yeah, I never said it was going to be easy. I never said everything's going to be handed to you, because I like favor, you know what I'm saying? I like,
And it looks like you got it, girl.
I like ease,
You got it.
and I did. And technically, yes, it is very much favor. But God is like, stick with me and I'm gonna stick beside him. Okay. But yeah.
That is awesome. That is awesome. How do I follow that?
Woo! Girl.
But whatever was trying to keep you in Mexico,
Yeah.
I feel
me
like
frustrated.
you lost.
You lost.
You lost.
Yes.
Okay?
Satan pet di
Yeah,
bataille. I'm
you
sorry
lost.
to put that in there for my Haitian people. If you know, you know. But I had to. It needed to be said in that moment.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
devil, you lost.
Victory will always be yours.
Amen.
Victory will always be yours.
Yes.
And I love that, that he just showed you that he got you. You know, while everything looked like you were going to miss that flight, everything looked like it wasn't going to work out, God worked it out. He is the God of good endings.
Yes. Can we talk
know?
about good endings? I'm sorry. I feel like it's a
can.
little bit of a
We
takeover. I don't
can.
have a takeover spirit, I promise. But speaking of good endings, y'all, after a day of travel to that capacity, after that unique travel experience, right? My good friend over here, not only did she come get me from the airport at like way past midnight, our time, she came with a smile on her face. She even came with a slice of pizza for me to eat. Who does that? Who does that? I just kind of feel like the thoughtfulness, this is just a sidebar, but the thoughtfulness makes me want to step my game up because I would never. Like, you want me to come get you from the airport? I got you. But like, she went the extra step, like, are you hungry? I know you're going to be hungry. What you want to eat? Not even, are you hungry? She said, what do you want to eat? And I was like, anything?
I mean, that's how I want to be picked up from the airport.
Bruh, when I tell you,
Oh,
because just bringing it all together, because again, we were sick, so we didn't eat for a solid 24 hours, you know what I mean? So for her to even offer that, it may seem simple, like, oh, okay, she got me a slice of pizza, but to me it felt so big because I felt like it was such a great representation of, like, I'm not saying the pizza part, I mean, but in that moment, that pizza was Thanksgiving dinner, okay? Like, I just kind of feel like that was a really, really great representation of how God is like, yes, you gonna go through some things, but in the end, not only is it gonna be sweet, it's gonna be better than what you imagine. I was happy with a ride from the airport, honestly. I was cool with that.
yeah.
And so she just took it a notch above. So all you airport picker-uppers, step your game up. Step your game up, period. Okay.
Oh, man.
But I thank you.
Oh, gosh.
And I need people to know because that was so beautiful and it hit so hard.
Wow.
Because I think it hit extra hard because
You went through all of
of
that.
the day I had just had, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my God, she want to get me a slice of pizza. Oh my God, thank you. But oh, girl.
Well,
So
thank
yes,
God.
happy endings, like you were saying. But
Well-
that was amazing.
Well, thank God. I don't know. Like, yeah, I just felt like,
Wow.
hey, she's going to be hungry. Because I knew you had a long flight. I'm like, let me just grab something. So thank you, Holy Spirit, for putting that, for downloading that into me. Because
Okay.
I didn't think of that on my
You
own.
didn't know what
I did
that
not.
did, girl. You
I
don't
did
know
not.
what that did.
it's like I had all this time. I'm like, I'm not going to just drive around back and forth around the airport. Let me go grab her something to eat. So
Yeah.
that worked.
Yeah.
It worked out. Well, thank you, Jesus. I'm glad it blessed you.
It blessed.
I'm glad.
When I
Well,
tell you,
it's all
blessed
part of his
me.
plan. He knitted you to feel that extra.
What? Oh,
That little extra something.
man.
Well,
That whole thing blessed me, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
yep. A
Wow.
little more than what you could have asked for.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was amazing.
That
Oh,
is amazing.
I'm so glad that I could come in and unpack this on the podcast, because I think I would have just kept on thinking about it. And in reality, I feel like, you know, we do keep these things to ourselves, but I just know, I just sense it. I just feel it. Somebody's going to hear this, whether it's when the episode drops or in a year or 2 years from now. I just know somebody's going to be blessed.